Hey guys, for those of you who know me really well, here I am avoiding packing boxes and moving things because I don't feel like it, or I'm like packing half a box and taking a break. So instead I thought I would do a reading, because what do you do when you need to avoid things? You clean the house, and the house needs cleaning, I'm telling you that. I don't feel like cleaning the house either. So I just feel like playing today. Is that okay? I'm having one of those days where I went to the shops this morning to get boxes and I left without the boxes. And I went back there again, almost left without any boxes again. It's one of those days. But we've had some interesting cosmic stuff happening and astrological stuff happening the last few weeks. And I'm no astrologer by any means. I know a little bit, probably more than the average person, but I always talk to my best friend about this because she has been studying astrology the last couple of years a lot more in depth. We used to do numerology and other readings together and travel the world, or travel India really, and that's the story we have to tell. And I really look forward to the day she says yes to coming and being interviewed, but she's having a heavy Neptune transit, so she's a bit knocked out. And she was doing readings as well online. She had to pull back from that as well because, she's just not really feeling it at the moment. So when we do get to chat to her, it'll be awesome. But I just thought I'd pull some cards to see what the energy is doing at the moment and maybe some guidance for all of us. So let's see. I'm using the Osho Zen. All right. What are we feeling? Number 4 cards. All right, what's happening? Harmony. That's interesting. Haven't had much harmony lately. Sorrow. Okay, I spoke too soon. It's reversed though. Compromise. Oof. No one likes that. And projections. Well, it started off right, lovely. So, we've got harmony. So 10. So, I guess, what does that mean in terms of the energy at the moment? I guess it's a reminder that whatever is going on around us, we always have the choice of how we respond. And that's a really easy answer. Anyone can tell you it's not about how you react. It's how you respond to a situation. But in terms of this, I feel really like, because the next cards are pretty intense, I really feel like the leading card is just saying, just come into flow of your own being. Just come into the flow of your own being and be there. Be in harmony with your spirit no matter what the world throws at you. And the world will constantly throw things at you. We know that. It's the human experience. I really don't know many people that are constantly flowing. And the people that are flowing in the human experience are people that are doing a lot of work on themselves. So we can all do that. Some of the people do pretend to be flowing when they're not, and that's fine too. We all pretend to be something we're not and someone we're not at times. And I don't think we do that to keep faith. I think some of us do it because you can pretend your way into things. And so with that, I really feel that this card, if you can see it, is like really a reminder to just be in the harmony with your own being, and whatever brings you harmony, do that. If it's meditation and prayer, do that. But that won't work for everyone, you know. Someone might sniff some oil and that will work for them, you know. I've been doing that a lot lately. Another person might go for a run and burn off all this steam and get endorphins and really feel aligned with that. I went for a super long walk the other day, like 2-hour walk, and it was sunny and I felt amazing. Now, that was my meditation for the day. Many of us don't have time to meditate. And who was it that said, if you don't have time to meditate, you're really poor? Because we all have time to meditate if we want to. It's just that we talk ourselves out of being still and silent. And so I find it very fascinating that where we're moving to is actually a little bit out, a little bit more isolated than I like, a little bit around the trees and around the forest, a little bit serene, and a little bit of a good lesson. Like, can I be still with this place? Can I be still in this silence? Can I just be still with the flowers and the trees and the moments? I used to be able to, but once you have a child, things change. You're kind of just scattered most of the time. You don't know who you are anymore. You're kind of trying to figure out, I have to book in silence and self-care. And then when you finally get the moments to do that, guess what? You'd rather go and watch a movie or socialize or do something like that other than get to know who you actually are, because it's quite uncomfortable when you lose that part of yourself. And I have quite a few women friends and mother friends who, you know, have 1 child, 2 children, 3 children, and have lost themselves in just the role of being a mum. And when I look back on my own life and my own family and people in my life, I wonder, how much does it serve us to just be a mother? And it's not just a mother. Mothers are wonderful nurturers and creators of our life. But if you're the sort of person that is really passionate about something and has something more than just motherhood to give to the world, then you might get stuck in this phase where you just think, I'm just a mum now. And you're never just a mum. You are everything. You are the bread and butter. Well, we don't eat butter, but you're the bread of that family. You're the nourisher. You're the holder. And so, yeah, do something for yourself, for your own soul. It doesn't even have to be something that earns you an income. It can just be something that generates an energetic income for yourself. Okay, it went off tangent there, didn't I? So then the next card is sorrow. And this was reversed. So you could read this 2 ways. It's a 9. It's about endings. So you might really be coming to a time in your life where there's things, parts of your life that are ending, whether they're parts of your own cycle, as in who you are as a person, that's ending. Or there might be like physical endings in your life, whether it's relationship endings, situational endings. It's grief. It's a card of grief. It is reversed. So I'm wondering, sometimes when the cards are reversed, the way I read them are as a block. So maybe you're not allowing yourself to really grieve. Because sometimes when there is an ending, we don't even realize, because we're so excited to either start something else or we're just stuck there, or we're really resistant. We don't want it to end. We just want to stay there. So we don't even know how to grieve or how to allow ourselves to have sorrow. So the reason why I feel that this is a bit reversed is allow yourself to experience the emotion that you look at is negative. Allow yourself to experience that and really breathe through it and release through it. I'm just trying to do this before anyone's home, so I keep hearing things. It's been so windy today. Things have been slamming. So it's the card of sorrow. So look, it's not the most positive reading that we have here in front of us, but I will pull the last card after I read the next 2, just to maybe give us a little bit of a more positive way to move forward. The next card that came was compromise, okay? Take this card. It kind of asks you to sacrifice something, or it kind of asks you not to compromise yourself, but to kind of meet someone halfway, okay? Don't be so stubborn on holding on to everything that you think is yours. Don't hold on to things because they won't serve you in the end. It's better to give half, because anything that you give off, you will also receive. If you just want everything for yourself, guess what? You're going to get bombarded with situations that keep asking you to do the same, which is give of yourself. And if you keep resisting, that kind of energy, the energy of greed and holding on, is not going to serve you. It's going to actually present more and more blocks in your own life. So really, I've never seen anyone that got anywhere to the top, or whatever you want to think of it, by holding on, whether it's knowledge, so keeping of knowledge, whether it's, I don't know, secrets, whether it's wisdom. You don't have to share everything that you know, but share something of yourself, give a gift to somebody else. And if there is a battle or some conflict going on for you with a person in your life, and you don't know how to meet them halfway, because, you know, sometimes we want to meet someone halfway, but they're really resistant. They don't want to play that game. They want it their way, and that's it. Sometimes we just have to pull back at the same time, and that's the compromise that we make. And people don't realize that they then miss out on any kind of connection that they could have with you because they just want it their way. And I've seen that in my own life. I've seen people that have been very pushy and very difficult and pushed and pushed and pushed, and eventually they're pushed out the person that they actually wanted to have in their life. They pushed them out because they thought by pushing, those people would actually be there. But who wants to be there when you're pushing them? I know when someone pushes me, I am like a rebel. I will just do the opposite of what you're asking me to do. Unless there's a way that, I don't mind if you ask me to do it, I'll do it. But if you tell me that I need to do it that way, then I'll go the other way. And it won't serve me always, but don't push me into anything. So compromise. It's asking you to compromise. And we will read the next one, and then I'll pull another one to have more clarity. But yeah, just let go a little bit. Whatever's happening, let go a little bit, because you get a lot more back if you do that than if you hold on. And the next card is projections, which is a 7, and it was again reversed. And projections, I mean, many of us know what projections are. Sometimes when I'm having a certain emotion or certain experience, certain mood, I might create a whole story around that and push it towards someone, usually in my family, and make it all about them, not really taking ownership of what's happening within my own body, in my own being, my own heart, my own soul. So I might project that my daughter is having an experience that she might not be having, but because I might not have dealt with some things within myself, I'm projecting that that's what's happening for her. Quite often with children, obviously, as parents, that we try to be aware and conscious of situations, we will reflect and realize that that's what's happening. And intuition is quite strong for parents, so they know when something's not right with their child. But this is kind of in relation to this reading. How should I say this? I guess be very careful. Be very careful when you are dealing with people and there's a lot of energy floating around. Tune into your higher self and your highest alignment before you go telling other people how to live their life. And that's a bit hard because we all think that we're the experts, but really remember that the person that's having the experience is the expert of their own life. And if they want your help, you can be there and open yourself up to be available, but you can't push them to do it your way. We've all tried. We've all tried to make people do things that we thought were beneficial or important, but we kind of have to meet people where they're at and see where they're at instead of assuming where they're at. That goes with children, adults, friends, family members, businesses, business partners, coaches, mentors, whatever you want to call it. So the block there is that we might not be aware of what we're projecting. So with this whole reading, because the first card was harmony, be in harmony with yourself, I really think that's so important, especially with this end card, because it's like if you're in harmony with yourself, you won't have the need to project your stuff onto other people. Now, we read a lot of stuff on social media. We're bombarded with things. It's pretty hard not to have an opinion on things these days, but really reflect on what is your own opinion. Are other people or are other is other collective energy projecting your own belief system onto you? You have to realize that we're kind of conditioned from the moment that we come out of this beautiful supportive womb place into the world, that we're kind of conditioned into being a certain way, whether it's by our families or our society or the media or whatever is going on. But just be aware and maybe ask yourself a question. Why do I believe what I believe? Like, what is the evidence behind my belief? And then just reflect deeper on that. So that's kind of the current reading. Very, very interesting. And maybe we'll have a completion card. Like, how does all of this end? And if it's a bad card, I'll just pretend I didn't pick it. Oops. Sometimes I read them, not always. Ordinariness. All right. Well, it just kind of seems, it's like a gentle card. It's just kind of saying, which is pretty interesting, just kind of be. Just be with life at the moment. There is a little bit of interesting energy about, so just be with life a little bit. You don't need to solve anything. Just pick the flowers, walk the path, put your foot in front of the other, and just be, which is so funny because I was talking to an old friend. I have a tattoo that I got when I was traveling to South America just before. I think it was 2006, and it's just very light. It says be, and it was just a reminder to just be, because we get so caught up in running around. Gosh, what was I doing in 2006 running around? That's 10 years ago. Who would have thought how much things change? But yeah, so it's a funny little thing. And then I bought this book for Isabella, and it said be happy, and it was like a bee, like a bzz, bee. So anyway, it's all about being at the moment. Just try and be amidst everything that's coming. Just try and be. Remind yourself to be. Be there, be here. Wherever you are, be there with your whole being. And on that note, I hope that was a little bit helpful. And I'll see you next time.